Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying there will be no Obamacare replace before the 2020 election, regardless of what the courts do with the case pending. The adjudication of Obamacare is unconstitutional by a Texas federal district court judge. You want to talk about repealing Obamacare? Then you better be prepared to draw the ire of one Nancy Pelosi. You want a piece of this?
Well, the issue of health care, I mean, when the president has instructed his Department of Justice to just eliminate the Affordable Care Act, them's fighting words. I mean, them's fighting words. It is, as Martin Luther King said, of all the inequalities, the one that is the most inhumane is the inequality in access to health care because people can die. And the president seems oblivious to that.
Them's fighting words? Oh, you go, girl.
Yeah.
You go stick it to them.
She just had to tell Biden what time it is, and now she's telling McConnell and Trump and the nation what time it is in Obamacare, now that she's had enough time to find out what's in it. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by the founder and principal broker for healthinsurancementors.com, the first man who ever read the Obamacare legislation, the Affordable Care Act, cover to cover, and understood it. And frankly, one of the few who still to this day who actually understands it. Yep. C.Steven Tucker, C.S. Tucker, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
Them's fighting words. You want to do a little sparring on health insurance policy with Nancy Pelosi? I don't think so.
Yes, I'm about afraid of debating healthcare policy with Nancy Pelosi as I am with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Both are noted policy experts, of course, so I bow to their expertise. People will die, she says. You've heard that before. Yes, we hear that every time there's any kind of slight change or workaround to the ever-increasing premiums and the lack of actual access to health care that Obamacare has caused. It is unfortunate because the president has made a good faith effort on several different occasions to provide lower priced options to those who have been priced out of the Obamacare health insurance marketplace. There's about 500,000 people in Illinois that buy their own individual health insurance. And a lot of them now have been priced out of the market because they don't qualify for federal health insurance subsidies. So, for example, a family of four with a husband and wife, 50 and 49 and two kids, their cost for a bronze plan with a $7,900 out-of-pocket expense per person is about $1,850 in Chicago. And what they get for that is the privilege of not being able to go to the top teaching hospitals in Chicago if they get sick. Can't go to Northwestern, can't go to University of Chicago, can't go to Rush, can't take their sick child to Lurie Children's Hospital. So the president, on October 12th of 2017, signed an executive order expanding what are known as non-ACA or non-Obamacare short-term plans and making them available for people for 12 months at a time, which keeps them safely insured between open enrollment periods. They don't run out of coverage in the middle of the year. And thanks to former Governor Rauner, one of the good things he did is he vetoed their first effort to overturn President Trump's restoration of these plans in Illinois from about the 10th of October until the 14th of December of last year. People could buy these plans for half the price of what they were paying for Obamacare plans, and they were restored the access to the teaching hospitals, Northwestern, University of Chicago, Rush. And so they were very happy, and the vast majority of policies that I sold personally to my clients were non-ACA policies. And then, of course, Governor Rauner lost his reelection, and as soon as it was even whispered that he may lose, predicted on this show multiple times before it happened, Antonio Munoz, Democrat, decided to work in Springfield to overturn the restoration of these plans and restrict them back down to 6 months, which, of course, exposes all these people to a brand new, unique danger. And that danger, of course, is your policy ends And if you're laying in the hospital in May and your policy ends on June 1st, you are unable to buy health insurance for the rest of the year because the exhaustion of a short-term plan is not a qualifying life event, which is what brought me to Springfield last Tuesday to testify so that the people in Springfield, those who make our laws, understand the unique risk they have now exposed these people to. So we'll see if my efforts paid off.
Well, I mean, the president proclaimed, though, that the Republicans would be the party of health care. What does that mean, and do they have a replacement plan for Obamacare?
Yes, we were almost the party of health care just a couple of years ago, and we had a great health care policy we put forward, the American Health Care Act. It was made even better with the BCRA in the Senate, the Better Care Reconciliation Act, and we almost were there, and one man stopped it. His name, of course, is John McCain with a 2 a.m. thumbs down vote. So now we're out just hoping for some sort of changes, and every time the president tries to do something, it gets struck down by the lower courts. For example, he tried to expand the definition of ERISA law last year, allowing for the creation of association health plans. And as soon as he did that, shortly thereafter, the states of Nebraska and Iowa started creating these association health plans, and we were beginning to pull data from these new plans that you could participate in, and they were very promising, much lower premiums, very much the same protections the ACA provides. But now, of course, another judge has struck down that redefinition of the word employer that President Trump decided to redefine under ERISA law. And now we can't sell those plans until the administration appeals, and if they are not successful on the appeal, we will lose that ability as well. So every effort we try to make, we're shot down by the lower courts.
And so where are we tracking, if from your perspective on this, if there's going to be no action through the 2020 election, and you've got the premium increases you're describing, insurers dropping out of Obamacare exchanges, so diminishing competition, are we sort of tracking to both parties allowing the default position to be Medicare for all, quote unquote, single payer?
No, that would never be the case. At least on our side, we understand that the Medicare Trust Fund, according to the most recent report from the Medicare Trustees report, will be in a position for the first time in 2026 where they are taking in less money than they're paying out, and that's just handling the current crop of Medicare recipients. That's not expanding it to 330 million people. So those on our side, and many on the Democrat side, realize that is an unattainable position fiscally. So I don't think we'll ever be there because we can't afford it. But I do see on our side after 2020 that just the thought of trying to propose health care legislation as an alternative to Obamacare right now, when the Democrats control the House and when 45 Republicans quit, which caused us to lose the House, it's just an untenable position. You cannot pass legislation through a Democrat-controlled House because all spending bills have to originate in the House. So how do you do that with a Democrat-controlled House that wants Medicare for all? So it was wise for the president to put this off until 2020, and hopefully we will retain control of the House and be able to propose something as an alternative.
With some of the progress that's been made during President Trump's term, like the individual mandate elimination and the tax, quote unquote, on it, why not just wait until you get sick and then purchase health insurance?
Well, that would bankrupt, of course, the insurance companies because people would wait until they have a scheduled surgery, buy the policy would cover the surgery, and they would drop the policy knowing they could get it again when they're sick, which is why we have restricted annual open enrollment periods under Obamacare. We have a 45-day window. If you miss that 45-day window, which ends on December 15th, you can't get health insurance again until the following year. The reason for that is it provides a strong impetus for people to keep their health insurance policies in place. And if they keep paying their premiums, the insurance companies can build up the necessary reserves to pay claims. That is the only way that it can work if you mandate insurers must cover all pre-existing conditions, as the ACA has done.
All right. He is C.Steven Tucker, founder and principal broker for healthinsurancementors.com. CS, thanks as always for joining us and sharing your insights. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.